Would you like to learn how to optimize your landing pages for Facebook ads to increase your conversion rates by 20% or more? Stick around because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. In this video, I'll walk you through the exact 6-step process that we apply to clients inside our Facebook ad agency to make sure their landing pages are as good as they can possibly be before we ever run traffic to them. And like I said, these changes are responsible for 20% improvements or more in our landing page conversion rates. Now have a think about what that would do for your ad costs if you could improve your landing pages like that in as little as 30 minutes. I'm Andrew Hubbard, founder of andrewhubbard.co. Now let's jump straight into the video with step number 1. So the first step is to optimize your ad copy so that it looks great on mobile devices. Now the truth is that if you're running Facebook and Instagram advertising, it means that most of your traffic is going to be coming from mobile devices. That's where the majority of Facebook users are. So that means if you're not optimizing your landing pages for mobile, then you are going to suffer a decrease in performance. Now this is an unfortunate mistake that I see a lot of people making. They design their landing pages on a desktop, they get them looking really good on desktop, and they never even check mobile. Then when they go to run traffic to that page on Facebook and Instagram, the performance isn't as good as it could be because they just haven't optimized it for those mobile devices. So the first thing you need to do is optimize the copy on the page so that the right information is shown to users on mobile and that it looks great. So you want to focus on your headline and your subheadline and make sure that your headline and subheadline, they fit nicely on mobile and that both of them are displayed above the fold. Make sure that nothing is cut off in the wrong places, that sentences aren't running onto new lines in weird spots, and that it just overall makes sense. And most of all, remember, it has to be above the fold. The key information has to be visible to the user without them having to scroll on their mobile device. So that is step 1. Go through and optimize that copy, make sure it looks great for mobile. Now just remember as well, with your copy, people will not scroll very far down the page. So anything that's way down the page, if you've got a long landing page, you could probably actually get away with removing that. Now let's move on to step number 2. Now this one is actually closely related to step number 1, and that is moving the button or your call to action button above the fold. So when people land on your page on a mobile device, they should be able to see that call to action button, the button that you want them to press, without having to scroll at all on their mobile device. This is really important because people tend to look at the page, they'll read the headline. If they have to scroll, they probably won't do it, and they're probably going to leave your page without signing up. So if you want to optimize your registrations on your page, make sure that button is above the fold. All right, now let's move on to step number 3 in this 6-step process. And this is optimizing your page speed. This one is really, really important for a couple of reasons. The first reason is because Facebook's priority is user experience. Facebook actually look at how quickly your landing pages load, and they reward you for having fast landing pages that provide a great user experience. Rewarding means cheaper ad costs, okay? So by optimizing your page speed, Facebook will prefer to send traffic to your page over other slower pages, and that means lower costs for you. The second reason is because users like fast loading pages. If you have a slow loading page, users will visit your page and they'll bounce very, very quickly if the page doesn't load almost immediately for them. So you want to make sure that your page load speed is as fast as possible to reduce your bounce rate and to make sure that Facebook actually likes sending traffic to your page. So here's how you do that. Now there are 3 tools that I recommend using to test your page speed and to get insights into what you need to do to actually improve it. So the first one is Google Page Speed Insights. If you go to Google and search for Page Speed Insights, you'll find that tool. The second one is gtmetrics.com. That's gtmetrix.com. And the third one is pingdom.com. So if you go to those 3 tools, enter in the URL of your landing page, click the button, and each of them will scan your page, and it will tell you how long it takes to load, and it will tell you what is slowing down the page load time, and they will also give you suggestions on what to improve. Now, I recommend using all 3 because each tool will give you slightly different suggestions, and some give you a little bit more detail than others. Now, when you scan your pages for page speed, you will notice a common theme. The most common things I see as reasons for slow page speed are image size, so using images that are too large or that aren't compressed, and JavaScript, so having JavaScript on the page that's unnecessary or that isn't set up optimally. Now for image size, what I recommend is running your pages through these tools, seeing which images could be compressed or could be reduced in size, and then going and following those steps, and then using a tool like TinyPNG to actually compress the image after you reduce the size. So that's how you improve your page speed. Upload your URL to those tools, take their recommendations, apply those recommendations, then go back and run the pages through the tools again and see the improvement. After you do that, you'll have a much faster loading page and you'll see better conversion rates on that landing page straight away. Now we're moving on to tip number 4. Number 4 is to make sure that your landing pages are always using your own domain or your own URL. Now, what I mean by this is there are a lot of great page building tools out there, and I love all of these tools. They're fantastic tools. I'm talking about things like Lead Pages, Instapage, ClickFunnels, Unbounce. Now, they're all good tools. They're all great for building landing pages on. The mistake that people make is that when they build their landing page, they just go and grab the URL from those page builders and drop it into Facebook. Now, the problem there is you're using the domains that are owned by those page building tools. So for example, on ClickFunnels, the URL would look something like andrewhubbard.clickfunnels.com / blah, blah, blah. Lead Pages would be andrewhubbard.leadpages.co / whatever. Instapage is something like pagedemo.co. So each of those tools have their own domain. They let you publish pages to it, but that's not what I recommend doing. Because there's a couple of reasons for this. One, the URL appears in your ad. So users can actually see the URL that they will be sent to when they click. And if they see something like ClickFunnels or like Lead Pages or Page Demo, it doesn't look as legitimate or as clean as when they see your own branded URL. Now, the second reason is because Facebook actually sometimes doesn't like these URLs, because what happens is spammy advertisers, people who are advertising and maybe breaking the rules, often set up lots and lots of landing pages on these domains, get them up and running quickly, and misuse them a little bit. So Facebook ends up lowering the trust to these domains, and it doesn't like sending traffic to them as much. So you'll actually see better results if you set the domain URL as your own. Now, the easy way to do this is using the WordPress plugins that come with any of these page builders that allow you to drop your landing page onto your own website using your own domain. You can also set up what's called a CNAME. That's another way to do it. Google that stuff to find it. It's a little bit too complex to jump into this video now, but it really is quite easy to set up. And also in the help documents for those different tools, they always have great explanations as to how to set up your own domain or your own URLs for your pages. All right, moving on to tip number 5. This one's really, really simple, but it's something that gets overlooked quite often, so it's worth a mention in this video, and it's something that we do have in our checklist. It's simply making sure that you have a link to your privacy policy on your landing page. Now, the main reason for this is simply for Facebook compliance reasons. Facebook, again, they want the user to have a great experience. And part of that means that if you're collecting leads, you need to be telling users exactly what you're going to do with their details. So when they enter their email address on your landing page, they need to be able to click your privacy policy if they want to and see exactly what you will do with that private information when you take it. So adding a privacy policy link to all of your landing pages before you run ads is really important, especially with GDPR now and all of that stuff. You want to make sure that you're compliant there as well. And now finally, moving on to tip number 6. This one's pretty obvious, but it's very, very important, so it's worth talking about now. It's adding the Facebook pixel to your website and also setting up Google Analytics and Google goal tracking to make sure that you're tracking on multiple levels. So obviously the Facebook pixel is really, really important. It's a must do if you're running ads. So you want to make sure that the pixel is working on your landing page and your subsequent thank you pages and across every page in your funnel as well. Now, there's a great little plugin that Facebook have created for us that works in Google Chrome. If you go to the Chrome store and search for Facebook Pixel Helper, add that Chrome extension, and that will allow you to see whenever you visit a website if that website and this is what you would do when you visit your landing page, has the Facebook Pixel installed. So you install the Pixel Helper extension in Chrome, visit your landing page, make sure the Pixel's firing, sign up for your offer through the landing page, and make sure that your conversions are all working on the thank you page as well. Now with Google Analytics, you want to set that up because it gives you an extra level of insights and an extra level of data as well. So you want to set up Google Analytics across your entire website, your landing page, your thank you pages, everywhere. But then you want to take the next step, which is what most people skip. And you want to go into Google Analytics and you want to set up what are called goals. This is basically Google's way of tracking conversions. Without setting up goals, Google Analytics really isn't that valuable to us. But once you set up goals, it opens up a whole new pool of data for us to look at. So that's the last tip for you. Tip number 6 is setting up your tracking, both the Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics. All right, if you want to get your own copy of this checklist so you can keep it handy for next time you set up a landing page and just run through it, or give it to your team so they can run through it every time they set up a new landing page for you, all you need to do is click the link in the description. So I've actually created the checklist for you. It's totally free. Click the link in the description. You can go over and grab your copy of that checklist. Now, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. Click subscribe to make sure you never miss a video from me. And if you've got any comments or questions, please drop them in the comments box below as well, because I'll be coming back and looking at those too. And I do try to reply to nearly every single comment or question that pops up here as well. So subscribe to the channel, make sure you never miss a video from me, and I'll see you next time.